Right, I thought we would check in on Ubisoft because one of their larger studios, that's behind quite a lot of stuff actually, has announced big layoffs. And I thought to myself, well, I haven't actually checked in on Ubisoft for a while. Let's have a look. Let's see. Oh, it's not looking too good. It's really not looking good for them. 5-year tracking on their company is actually woeful. Max, you can see just how far they've fallen. And it is interesting, actually. So if we look way back when they, opened up their shares in 1996, it was €2.58, right? And now they're at 8. They're at €8. I mean, they're lower than 25 years ago. Lower than 26 years ago. They're woeful. Their highest was actually quite high, over €100 at one point. 5 years, dreadful. I think it might be their lowest in 5 years, if I'm tracking it right. I think it is their lowest in 5 years. Again, pretty damn bad. Year to date, pretty damn bad. They don't seem to be improving, do they? There's no sign of them improving anywhere. Doesn't seem to be light at the end of the tunnel. 6 months, you just see it just sort of falls off the face of a cliff here. 1 month, yeah, it's woeful. It's really, really bad. The company is dying. When we say sort of like it's over for Ubisoft, it does seem to be over for them. You know, they get the contracts for massive titles. I mean, Star Wars Outlaws, for instance. Star Wars was, at one point, not anymore, a huge brand, right? A huge title that they could have put out there, but people weren't interested, right? The company that owns Star Wars, Disney, they killed the brand. And then the game wasn't that good either. So people checked out of that. And then not only, it's also the company behind Pandora, right? Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign at all. Really bad. Really, really, really bad. Not looking good. Not looking good. So, it's over for Ubisoft. Might be a bit clickbaity, but it's not really. If you're looking at the metrics, this is pretty damn bad stuff. So let's take a look, shall we? Let's dive into this because it's fascinating stuff. So, Ubisoft has announced yet another round of layoffs, this time targeting one of its most infamous internal studios, Massive Entertainment, which is the developer behind Star Wars Outlaws and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. So the move comes just months after both Disney-owned high-profile titles underperformed critically and commercially, leaving questions about Ubisoft's long-term strategy and its ability to sustain large-scale AAA development. This whole, focus on AAA titles. It's what does that even mean? What does that mean in a world where the end product gets released and it gets a day one patch? It's not a sign of quality, is it? AAA title. It's not something which people... You're not looking at that going, yeah, that means it's good now. No one thinks that. So it is a voluntary layoff program. So there was a corporate statement released this week. Massive, the company, confirmed it has realigned our teams and resources to strengthen our roadmap while launching what it calls a voluntary career transition program. The phrasing immediately raised eyebrows across the gaming industry, with many seeing it as a corporate doublespeak for layoffs at Massive Entertainment, and it was, obviously. And this is what they pushed out. So, as part of our ongoing evolution and long-term planning, we've recently realigned our teams and resources to strengthen our roadmap, ensuring our continued focus on the Division franchise and the technologies, including Snowdrop and Ubisoft Connect, that power our games. To support this transition responsibly, we introduce a voluntary career transition program, giving eligible team members the opportunity to take their next career step on their own terms. Jump or be pushed, basically. Supported by a comprehensive package that includes financial and career assistance. Massive Entertainment remains fully committed to our roadmap and to creating great experiences for players around the world, including the Division 2, the Division 2 The Division 3, sorry. And these projects continue with strength, focus, and ambition, and we look forward to sharing more in the future. Fascinating stuff. Like, actually fascinating stuff. What a weird way around it all to be like, we're chucking people off, mate. So Ubisoft frames this as a choice. Developers familiar with these voluntary programs know the reality. Being eligible to leave is another way of saying you're no longer wanted. It's a chance to leave with a cushy severance package or stick around and be fired later. Again, jump or be pushed. So the restructuring follows an earlier announcement from Ubisoft Red Lynx, the Finland-based studio best known for the Trials series. Red Lynx, I think I reported on this at the time, but basically they're going to be laying off 60 developers, which is not exactly a small amount of people. It's quite a lot. Massive Entertainment was once regarded as one of Ubisoft's crown jewels. The Malmo, Sweden-based studio developed the acclaimed Division franchise and built Ubisoft's powerful Snowdrop engine, which remains one of the company's most technically impressive achievements, but recent years have been rough. And this is a screenshot of Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. There was a lot of hype surrounding that, but it does seem to have fallen on its arse. You know, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora was met with lukewarm reception, while Star Wars Outlaws was a massive flop, failing to make the cultural or commercial impact Ubisoft had hoped for. Despite dazzling visuals, both titles struggled to capture the audiences in a crowded and increasingly risk-averse gaming market. I mean, this doesn't look that great, does it? Does that look good? I don't think that looks good. Anyway, the company's statement makes clear that Massive's future lies not in experimentation or new IP, but in doubling down on familiar ground. The Division series, the studio's reaffirmed its commitment to the Division 2, the Division Resurgence, and upcoming Division 3. So yeah, they're done. It's not good for them, is it? So employees who volunteer for the program, they're going to receive financial assistance, payout, and career support. Career supports are normally like a message. Hi guys, this great team member's there. Could you hire them? And everyone will go, no. Because you guys have destroyed the gaming industry. So no. Terrible. The studio reconfirmed plans to become specialised in small screens. This is Red Lynx, which insiders interpret as a pivot towards mobile gaming, handheld systems like the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2, and PC handheld devices. I mean, look how bad this is. God, man alive. And Ubisoft, I mean, they recently made that new company, which was a holding company for the IP itself, which was them saying, guys, like, we're about to go under, but we need to protect the IP from being sold off, so we're going to make this other company to hold the IP. I mean, they're struggling. Like I said, they are struggling. It's not. Look at that. Good lord. Anyway. And they're not the only ones. Like, there are more and more people, more and more video game companies out there that are not doing great. But they only have themselves to blame. Right? Like, it's no one else's fault but theirs. So, what do you say? What do you say, right? Like, the state of Ubisoft. It's over for Ubisoft. Probably is, to be fair. I mean, we're not exactly seeing them being the behemoth that they once were. Certainly not there, anyway. Jesus. Anyway, thoughts down below. Bye-bye now.